Man, you know what? This is probably one of the biggest races. He's got all the big boys, and Chad probably did not need that. He's lined up next to Ricky Carmichael. Ricky almost had a smile on his face like, man, what is going on?
Let's take a look at your do's and don'ts in here. You got to stay on top of the whoops. Don't change your lines. Don't race your rivals. Race that track out there, and don't worry. You make a mistake, just come back. All right, Debo, 20-lap main event. Here we go in Orlando. Ricky Carmichael with a good start. It looks like Ernesto Fonseca, but it's lucky, maybe.
Did you see James Stewart right there? He was buried in the middle of the pack, and instead of worrying about going to that first turn and throwing an elbow, he stops on a dime, hugs the inside barrel, and man, out front with the whole shot. Wow, man, for being away from someone, that kid is so smart.
James Stewart in front. Kyle Lewis is going to take that Butterfinger Grip Hole Shot Award, but it's James Stewart leading Ricky Carmichael now. It looks like Windham back in third. Also Reed. We have the best field. The top four are the riders we've been waiting for.
This is exactly it. It's what we've been waiting for all year long. We got all four major manufacturers. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've already seen that Stewart's the fastest guy on the track in the heat races. But can he do it for 20 laps?
Oh.
I don't know. He looked like he was sweating in that end of that 8 laps. Ricky makes a mistake, and look at Reed's right all over him.
Look at him closing in the gap there. Now Bubba's trying to separate himself. James Stewart's nickname is Bubba, and there's a lot of Bubba fans in the stands. And Chad Reed looks really good. Lose a little bit of rhythm right there. Just like in your do's and don'ts. Don't worry, though. You got to pick it back up.
Don't worry about it. Come right back. And just like that, Ricky's just looking uncomfortable. Kind of makes a mistake, but just like that, he just closed the gap all over James Stewart. Man, this is it. Now, in the heat race, it was completely rolled opposite. Stewart closes the gap real quick up on Carmichael and takes away. But now, Carmichael closes the gap up on 259.
Stewart takes the middle road through the whoops. Are a little more wore out there. But you're right, Carmichael's just behind. He's biding his time. I'm going to tell you what, Kevin Windham back and forth, not too far behind as well. They are the cream of the crop. There's no question about it in 250 Supercross. And now Reed closes in on Carmichael.
Okay, and something we can see right now is this track is completely day and night different than what we saw in the heat races. The track was perfectly smooth, perfectly groomed in those heat races. This track is blown out. It is deteriorated. They have to race the track right now more than they can race each other.
Outside is Chad Reed. Watch out. He's trying to set up on the inside. Oh, cases it right there. If he cases it harder than that, he's going to fly off the end of the track.
You know what? I think maybe that Chad Reed's mechanical failure there at the beginning of the race, it could have probably been the best thing for him because all it did was clear his head. He thought about it, just got rid of everything that he was worried about after this heat race. Said, man, I just got to go out and focus on the track.
All right, let's take a look at what happened to James Stewart on the Kawasaki right there in the big picture, the live picture in the top of your screen.
Seat bounces to triple. He comes back and comes up a little short. He's unable to get the momentum. He cases that next triple. And look at him look back. Man, I just opened up the door big time. And the Hungry Hunter is right back in second. Ricky Carmichael with Reed all over him. Man, this is it. This is what we've been waiting for the last 2 months.
I think that's an understatement. Denny Stevenson all over it. Chad Reed is going nuts out there trying to get by Ricky Carmichael. There's an onboard camera. James Stewart has won 125 Supercross championships, 125 Motocross championships. He's not going to win a 250 championship this year, but he may win this race.
See, something I think that might be detrimental to Ricky Carmichael right now is if Reed stays all over him, Ricky will be unable to take the fastest lines he needs to. And he goes down just like that. He drops the front end in the rut and just folds and he goes down. Oh, man.
And Carmichael's our points leader. Chad Reed was hoping something like this would happen. Carmichael, we see it 2 weeks in a row, a mistake where there was none in the first part of the season.
Well, right now, we talked about Ricky Carmichael's got Kevin Windham right in front of him. You know what happened in Atlanta? Ricky threw some elbows on Windham, and Windham said, it ain't going to happen again. I'll throw some elbows back.
Wyndham's fast, that little double on, double off section. You see Carmichael going through right there. Windham was the first one to try that. You know he doesn't like getting beat by these guys.
No, of course not. Ricky Carmichael may have gone down. Yeah, maybe what he needed to kind of clear his head. Goes, man, I need to push reset and come back after these guys. I can run my own lines and set out after this. Right now, he's a 4-point deficit to Chad Reed. And if Chad get up past Stewart, even more points Ricky's going to lose.
Let's take a look at this one more time and see what happened, Denny. Look at Ricky right there, the number 4 yellow Suzuki in the big screen.
We see Ricky entering the center turn right now. He's going to go double, double. We see Ricky now. He's going to jump in. He drops the front end, and that thing's just going to tuck and just throw him down. He was looking ahead of that section instead of looking at where he's going to land. Let's look at it again, different angle. He's going to drop the front. He's already kind of sitting down. The front end just tucks, and just like that, he's down. The front end compresses and throws him up over the bars.
It was soft firm right there, too. This track breaking down really put a hurting on him. If it was smooth, it might might not have happened. Let's take a look at James Stewart, who's separating himself. He has a 3.6-second lead over Chad Reed right now. There he is on board. And we've seen some crazy things happen to our onboard camera this year, but man, woo, he is flying.
And look at how different the lap times have changed since the heat race. I mean, he ran a 49. He's running a 53, 4 seconds different than what the heat race were. The track, like I said, over and over is deteriorating. Look at him go through the whoops right here. Perfect angle.
Bubba just turned a 52.4. The second fastest lap time was a 53.1. He's a half a second faster than Reed.
We knew Bubba was the fastest guy on the track. We didn't know if he's going to make it through all 20 laps.
Man, look how close he came to those cup blocks. Stepping on, stepping off. Great shots by our onboard camera, having to work his way through lap traffic. Now Carmichael, he's caught up to Windham, getting by maybe another story. We remember them in Atlanta, a little aggressive move.
Yes, definitely. Windham, I don't know if he's going to be Mr. Nice Guy this time with Carmichael, but Ricky needs to make up this pass and Windham because he cannot let Reed gain any points on him.
Amsoil Honda team, you see Suzuki, Honda.
Check it out. Dive to the inside right there. And Kevin just lifts up, just looks down and goes, go on by. You're already going past. What was that about?
He was all the way up at the top. He was going down if he didn't back off. Now Carmichael into third. And he catches up to Chad Reed, and then James Stewart is in first, checking out from everyone. This is the race we've been waiting for.
Ricky has got his hands full right now. He should not have crashed. Obviously, these guys work cut out for him to catch those two guys out front.
I think you talked about it. Maybe he clears his head, you know, can refocus. You see him go through the woods. He's doing so much better this year than he has in years past. It's a totally different setup.
Well, like we talked about, he's not setting up his bikes just for the whoops. There's more to racing than just whoops. There's corner speed, and Ricky is the master in the corners.
Lap number 7, 3.8-second lead for James Stewart. There's Carmichael trying to make up ground. And you see Chad Reed way out in front, going down the front straightaway.
Yeah, he's a full section ahead of him right now. Again, got his work cut out for him. He's putting down some fast laps. Right now, he just needs to keep that thing up on 2 wheels because this track is just falling apart, as I said, over and over.
It almost looks like Ricky Carmichael may be invincible. We see him 2 weeks in a row have a mistake, something very characteristic with Carmichael. There's the onboard, James Bubba Stewart going through the woods one more time.
He just crashed. I can't believe it. I thought he'd be out front. He could just kind of settle into a pace, and down Stewart goes.
James Stewart going down way out in front. He had about a 4.8-second lead. When he goes down, now he's in third.
Just opens up the door. Ricky Carmichael goes by. Now Reed's alone out front. What did I say before the top of the hour? Don't race your rivals, race the track. Man, this track is just eating these guys up.
He was fast for one lap, but this is a 20-lap, 250cc main event. James Stewart, can he regroup? We saw him go down in practice. He does it again here in the main event. That's why the 250 Supercross Series is the toughest series in the world.